Yesterday, I could have died. I could have literally gotten knocked the fuck out and sent straight to sleep. But you know what's the worst part? It didn't happen in the ring. I really want you to pay attention in this video, because if you forget some of these tips, you could get into some sticky situations, right? But let's just get to it. Yesterday was a particularly weird day. I was supposed to go sparring that day, so go to my boxing gym, but I'm having a wrist injury, right? So I can't really spar yet, but I still wanted to train. So I decided to go to the gym and hit a workout there. I couldn't really push, right? But there are a few exercises that I could just swap out, put in, just so that I can actually hit the workout, right? And as I was doing like my last few sets of like leg raises or whatever, I spoke to a friend of mine who was there. He's a little bit younger. He was like 15, turning 16. I'm turning 18 this August 21st, so I'm a little bit older than him. And as I was done having this small talk with him, this little conversation, I headed straight to the locker room. And in that locker room, I saw a strange looking guy. Now, this guy, I believe he was around 40 years old. He had like a rather older face, right? A manly, masculine face. He was like, but he was jacked. He was bald. He had more width than height, literally. He was a little bit taller than me. But if you saw that dude in person, he could knock you into another dimension, right? And he's walking around the locker room furious. Like filled with this anger, right? You could see like the testosterone monkey brain piercing through his eyes, literally like looking for somebody to beat, literally. Somebody to punch the death out of him, right? But as I was about to walk up to the bathroom, there's like when you walk into the locker room, right? When you go to the right, there's like a small room that you have to go through to get access to the bathroom and the showers, right? And in this small room in between, there was a mirror. I wanted to get into that room, right? But this guy interrupts me. He like bumps into me and he's like, yo, did you put these headphones there? And I'm thinking, man, fuck you talking about? Like, turns out somebody grabbed this guy's headphones and put them on top of somebody else's bag. So hear this out. Somebody left their bag on one of the benches instead of putting it in one of the lockers, right? So somebody just had their bag there. And my only logical assumption is that somebody grabbed this dude's headphones and put them on top of somebody's bag. They didn't even put them in the bag. They were literally lying on top of it, right? And this dude, I assume he thought somebody tried to rob him, right? Because he's walking around furious, right? This monkey brain turned on and he was about to beat somebody to death, right? So he walks up to me, yo, did you put these headphones there? And I literally said like, nah, I didn't. What's your problem? And he's like, well, you wouldn't want to be the guy who put them there. And I'm thinking, yeah, I wouldn't want to be the guy who put them there, because whoever did that, he's about to get in trouble. So as I'm standing in that mirror, like posing, I literally have pictures from that day, right? Because it was a very good workout. As I'm standing in front of that mirror, I just hear my friend walk into the locker room. Same friend from before, from the beginning of the story. And turns out it was his bag. Believe me when I tell you, the eruption from this man, the amount of anger, like pure violence was coming out of that man. He was screaming every single possible negative word his mind could have came up with. Trust me, you've never seen a man furious like this before. He was threatening him all kinds of things, right? He was telling him that he's gonna call the police, that he's a coward, that he's the worst piece of human being in the world. And my friend has no idea what's going on. Like, he just asked him whether that was his bag. And that's when he erupted, right? All my friend could say at that moment is that, no, I didn't do it. Because obviously he didn't. Because he was with me at the gym, because I was talking to him, right? He was nowhere in that moment when they put his like headphones there, right? He wasn't even there, but it just happened to be his bag. I don't know who was the person who put the headphones there, but whoever you are, you have no idea what kind of butterfly effect you just started, right? But as I'm standing in this room listening to my friend getting like dunked on, to getting like literally destroyed in that argument, I'm thinking to myself, hell no, I'm not just gonna stand there like do nothing. And in that moment, I walk out of the room, right? Literally in this superhero mindset, right? Thinking that I'm gonna save the day. And keep in mind, this dude was 3 times bigger than me. Literally, he was a little bit taller, yeah, but in terms of size, he was like Hulk. He could have grabbed me and tossed me to the other side of the room if he wanted to. But guess what little me did? Well, little me. It happened literally yesterday. Whilst I don't have the most, whilst I'm not the skinniest in the world, right? I have a little bit of mass. I served no threat to this guy. Yet, guess what I ended up doing? I literally just like grabbed him by the shoulder from behind and I just told him, "Sir, you need to calm down." With this like confident voice, trying to like de-escalate things. And believe me, as I grabbed him by the shoulder and like, I don't have the deepest voice in the world. I'm afraid of that, right? I'm aware. But I tried making like a deeper voice, telling him, "Sir, you need to calm down," as I grabbed him on the shoulder. And in that moment, as I grabbed him, he turns around with an even bigger fury in his eyes, right? Suddenly it's like, now he was Red Hulk. Now he was about to like detonate on somebody. I could see him tensing up, furious, right? And in that moment, I went from being confident, from trying to like, maybe not intimidate him, but from like trying to calm him down, to like literally feeling this fear flowing through me, right? Like I genuinely thought for a second that I'm about to get knocked into another dimension, because believe me, he was furious. Like I know I keep exaggerating this, but I'm not exaggerating. This is exactly how it went. This is the true story. He was on the edge of like beating somebody that day. Now, thankfully, he had enough self-respect and a big enough brain to know that he would get in trouble if he tried hitting us, right? Now, there weren't any cameras in the locker room, but there were people literally standing around watching us, right? Nobody else would have walked up and stepped up for my friend. Somebody gotta do it, right? And as I'm standing there, like, now I'm in a completely different mindset. I went from trying to be like this fucking superhero, trying to act brave, to just trying to escalate things. Ooh. Just trying to de-escalate things, my bad. Trying to like calm things down. Thankfully, after a few words being exchanged, no, he was still pissed, he was still angry, but we both managed to like calm him down. He still refused to believe that we didn't steal his headphones, right? He was still in the midst of everything happening. But at one point, he just grabbed the headphones, put them in the bag, and he just walked away. Like he said, like, "Yeah, I hope you didn't steal it. Have a good night." And he just walked out of the locker room. And the first thing I did when I made sure that he wasn't in the gym anymore, I burst into fucking laughter. The amount of delusion you must have in your brain to be so convinced that somebody must have done it without evidence. That's what's so mind-blowing to me right now. I don't want to sound like I don't understand the guy. Because if I was in a similar situation, knowing the way I am, I would have at least said something to that person, right? I would have also been offended. But that's not the way to go, see? The one lesson that I want you to take from this video: discussions are always better than debates. You should always aim towards de-escalating the situation instead of further like lighting up the fire underneath the thing, right? I don't know what kind of analogy that was, but look at what I did in the beginning. Instead of trying to calm him down, I literally just matched his energy. In that case, it wasn't the right thing to do, because here he was acting intimidating and I just grabbed him by the shoulder and I was like, "Sir, you need to calm down," with this like lower tone. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like my voice is lower when I speak my native language. And I think that just further angered him. Now he was like really angry. That just like multiplied his anger. So that wasn't necessarily the best thing to do. If I had the martial arts experience and the size to like back it up, then yeah, maybe I would have intimidated him or whatever, but I can't do that yet. I have a little bit of muscle, fine, but I'm a 5'7", 155 midget. I'm like average size, sure, but I can't do much. I can't do much against a guy who's like Sam Sulik wise. What I should have done instead is I should have de-escalated things from the start, instead of doing it after, like maybe not offending, but angering the guy even further. You should de-escalate things from the start. Discussions are always better than debates, because when you are debating, it's like you can't win an argument. This is something that I'm pretty sure most of y'all already heard of, but where even if you are right or wrong, the other side's never gonna be satisfied. If it was like his, like, how do I say this? If he was right and my friend actually tried stealing his headphones, he would have been pissed, right? He had the total right to be mad, but even if it wasn't him, which it wasn't, obviously, he was only mad even further, right? Regardless of how many facts I would have showed him that he is wrong, that would have further, like, embraced this anger within him. And that's exactly what happened, right? That's why you should prioritize, maybe not peaceful talk, right? Because that's a completely different thing, but just de-escalating things. Most of the time, anger is not the solution. Could you hear that? Hopefully not, but my stomach just went I'm hungry, man. This is wild, man. Yeah, the one lesson I want you to take from this video is just discussions over debates. Always prioritize discussions. It's never worth it to get into an argument with somebody. You're just gonna further embrace his anger. And believe me, I wish there were cameras in that locker room so that I could show you the clip, but just visualize visualize white Ronnie Coleman if he was 5'8". That's about the best analogy I can give you for this example, really. That's a story that I'm definitely gonna tell for a long time. But I don't want to waste your time. So let's just summarize this video, right? If you want to talk to me directly, well, can you run a community that actually understands your problems? Believe me when I tell you, my Discord server is the perfect place for that. You will not find a community like us anywhere else. I can pretty much assure you this. Literally handshake. If you join my Discord server, it's not like any other communities where the creator is not active at all. I will literally be the first one to welcome you. And it's not because I have 5 members in the server. Nah, we're doing really good in terms of members activity. Blah, 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 skibbity toilet. But trust me, this community is unreplaceable. And you have zero risk in finding out because Discord's free anyways. You do you, honestly. Here's my cat. My cat's doing mighty fine. Oh, there we go. Yeah, she's sleeping right now. Oh, guess we just woke you up. Alright, I'm not gonna waste any further time. You can click all the videos if you want to get even more value. And if you want to stay there long term, you might as well hit the subscribe button. You have zero risk in doing so. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next video. So keep working, brother, and take care.